Hey everybody, it's Mr. Raise the Screen Roamer here. I'm going to be going over Module 4 in Social Studies and doing the review for each lesson so that you're prepared for the Module 4 test. What I'd recommend is after you watch a video, go back through the reviews again for each lesson and see if you can be successful on those, and then go ahead and take the assessment itself. Okay, so as you know, each lesson, the second to last slide is a review. It also gives you a nice little summary right here. So I'm in lesson 1, slide 8 out of 9, so the second to last one. Okay, let's take a look at right here. This is dealing with leading up to the American Revolution. And it says that leading up to the American Revolution, the French and Indian War sparked a number of decisions and events that increased the dissatisfaction of colonists. Not only did the British tax them to pay for the war that the Britain chose to participate in, but Britain also imposed laws on the colonists who had no elected representatives in British government. All this led to the British and the colonists toward revolution. Okay, so they're fighting the French and Indian War. Okay, it cost them money to do that. They had to charge taxes to pay for it. And then they also made some other laws that really made the colonists upset. Okay, let's take a look at our activity right here. Okay, what we need to do here is match these causes with the effects over here. What I like to do is find the ones that I have that I know are simple, first off. Okay, I know the tea tax. You know that one's going to have to do with tea. Okay, and it's caused the Boston Tea Party. Okay, another one that I know is military presence in Boston. Okay, it made people unhappy. They protested about it, but then those protests got kind of heated, and that's where the Boston Massacre happened. Okay, 5 people, I believe, were killed in that event. Okay, let's see here, the Stamp Act. Okay, the French and Indian War, I know what that one did. It caused them to tax the people because they needed to raise money. Britain needed to raise money. Now I got it down to 2 different ones. Okay, the Proclamation of 1763 and the Stamp Act. Now I think I know what the Stamp Act is. Okay, I don't think it was a ban on westward expansion, meaning they couldn't move west of the colonies. They didn't want to make the colonies any bigger. Okay, it caused protests and boycotts because they were taxing printed materials. Okay, and now the Proclamation of 1763 said, hey, no moving west. All right, we got all of those right. So you can go back and try that again. I'll stop and come back with lesson 2. Hey there, everybody. We're at lesson 2 right up here. You can see that the revolution grows. Okay, we can take a look at our picture right here, some protests. So now we've got the patriots are supporting independence, while the loyalists supporting remaining with Great Britain. So we have 2 different groups. The patriots are looking for independence, and the loyalists still want to stay with England. Okay, and then we have another group down here, the undecided. They can't make up their mind. What should we do? Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at lots and lots of objectives here. Let's see what the activity is. Okay, it looks like we have to place these into different groups. Okay, so we've got loyalists, patriots, and undecided. Okay, so let's see. Remain part of Britain. I know that one. That's the loyalists. Okay, let's see here. They weren't sure which side to support. That's definitely undecided. Okay, they wanted to have freedom from Britain. Okay, so guys, what I just did was I took the ones that I knew for sure. Okay, they were the largest group. Okay, I don't think it was the loyalists, the patriots maybe, but I know that there were a lot of people that were undecided. Okay, I believe that one is correct. Okay, they believed that the boycotts hurt the colonists. So the patriots were the ones that boycotted. Okay, so boycott just means they're not going to buy something, like buy tea or paper or printed materials, things like that. Okay, so it's not the patriots. undecideds might have thought that, but loyalists kind of used this to say, hey, look at, you're hurting the colonies right here. Okay, British taxes weaken the economy. Okay, the Patriots said that, hey, you're taxing our tea. Okay, they were influenced by propaganda. Let's see here. They used propaganda to convince people. Okay, so propaganda would be like printed materials like Thomas Paine's Common Sense and flyers and things like that, and especially that picture of the Boston Massacre. Okay, so propaganda, these guys used propaganda to try to get these guys on their side. Okay, and maybe change their minds over here, but they were really looking at these guys. So these guys were influenced by propaganda and said, these other guys said there is strength in the empire. These guys believed to stay with England. So let's see if we got it right. Hey, look at that. All right, lesson 3 coming your way. Okay, here we are on lesson 3, everybody. So it begins. So take a look at the painting right here. You've got people rushing off the battle. You can see some British troops up here, the redcoats. So this one shows the Minutemen leaving their homes to go to battle against the British soldiers. So you can see these guys running off quickly. And now you got British citizens living in Massachusetts. Okay, took up arms. Okay, took up weapons against the British troops to defend their rights. Okay, and now we've got the battles of Lexington and Concord, were the beginning of the struggle that would last 8 years. Okay, let's take a look at our review right here. So we've got 3 gentlemen right here, Paul Revere, William Dawes, and Samuel Prescott. What did they do in April of 1775? Okay, the name I know mostly is Paul Revere. Okay, Paul Revere's Midnight Ride. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. So he had 1 lantern if the British were coming over the land, and 2 if by sea. Okay, so did they row to Boston together? No. Did they warn the British that the Minutemen were hiding? No. They warned the Patriots about the arrival of British troops? Maybe. Did they lead troops into battle? No. Okay, so they warned the Patriot colonists. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. That's correct. Okay, next one. Who were the Minutemen? Did they cook eggs? No. They're ready to battle at a moment's notice, maybe. Architects or small toy soldiers? Obviously that one. Okay, so they could be ready quickly or in a minute, kind of. What were the British troops looking for in Concord? Weapons, clothing, books, or tea? Obviously, they're looking for weapons, so the colonists couldn't fight back. Okay. Why were the battles of Lexington and Concord important? They were the first battles. The colonists ran out of weapons. I don't believe so. The British won easily. I don't think they won easily. They got the colonists, I believe, lost, but it was a tough battle. Okay, and they were the last battles? No, they were not. They were the first battles. They showed that the colonists were willing to fight. Where was most of the Battle of Bunker Hill fought? You'd think it was on Bunker Hill, but it wasn't. Okay, it was on the hill next to Bunker Hill. Okay, because that was, I believe, right next to the bay, and that was Breeders' Hill. All right, Breeders' Hill. I think I got it. Yep. All right, coming back to you with the next one. All right, here in lesson 4, we've got independent ideas. So we're dealing with the path to the revolution, and included the battles of the British troops and disagreements with King George III. Okay, it also right here, guys, had political ideas that would shape the future of the American colonies. So documents like the Magna Carta and philosophies like from philosophers from John Locke and influenced leaders. So you had some documents, you also had some philosophers, and then we also have the committees of correspondence that created a network of communication. Okay, so remember, they didn't have telephones, things like that. They only had, horses and riders, and then they could set up different checkpoints along the way, and also for ways for people to share their ideas. Okay, so let's take a look right here. Lots of objectives. And right here, we've got a little drop down. Okay, and it says the committees of correspondence. Let me think about that. Okay, they set up that communication, formed a blank of communication between the colonies. A network, maybe, a door, television, or series. Okay, definitely not. Definitely not. I don't think so. A network. Okay, so get rid of the ones that you know it's not and go with the ones that you think it could be. Okay, the First Continental Congress met in, now remember, these guys, when they met, it was treason, okay, meaning if they were discovered, they could be executed. Okay, so they met in secret, okay, in Philadelphia, a farmhouse, chambers, or a school. Okay, remember, they could die if they were discovered. They met in secret. All right. Okay, the blank branch petition sent to King George III asked him to end the fighting. Okay, so the cedar branch, the olive, maple, or pine. Think about it. Okay, an olive branch is a sign of peace. So they sent him a petition, said, hey, we just want to be friends. Let's stop this. All right. And is that correct? Yep. Think one more. The Magna Carta is a blank that was created in 1215 by King John of England. Okay, is it a dish, a drawing, a musical? No, none of those. Just get rid of those silly ones. It's a charter. Okay, a charter is a document. Okay. And let's go to the next. Thomas Paine used blank language to get the message of independence to the people. So remember, Thomas Paine's document was common sense. Okay, and he's talking to people like blacksmiths and people that work on horses, farriers, things like that. Okay, so he used legal language, fancy or complicated. No, they're not going to understand all that fancy language. He just used the common, plain language. Keep it simple. That is correct. Okay, coming back to you with next lesson. All right, lesson 5 here, the Declaration of Independence. So right here we can see a picture. People are reading, getting all fired up. Okay, during the mid-1700s, colonist relationship with Britain became tense. Yeah. Okay, the American colonists tried many forms of political participation to make changes. So now we've got the writers of the Declaration of Independence included a list of grievances or things that they thought mistreatments. Okay, in a letter to King George III to explain why they wanted independence. All right, taxing, okay, was one of the main things. Okay, so here we've got a different type of check. It's kind of cool. What am I? So people that participate in me to have their voices heard. People ask questions of their elected officials. I became part of the committees of correspondence, so this is going to have to do with communication. Okay, I happened in the past and still happen today. Okay, the House of Representatives, we do have that now. Parent-teacher association, that's at school. Student-teacher meetings, that's at school. Okay, so these two make no sense in town hall meetings. Okay, so people are going to ask questions of their officials. It's going to be a town hall meeting. Oh, and some cool sounds and confetti rainbow things. Okay, what am I? I was written in 1776, so it's a document. I was signed by 56 delegates, representatives. Okay, I include a list of grievances against the king or wrongdoings. You guys know this one. All right. Okay, they're saying, hey, Declaration of Independence. The grievances, 1776 and 56 delegates gave that one away. Okay, who am I? I am the main author. So we're talking about a person, main author in Declaration. And this person was born in Virginia. Okay, was it Benjamin Franklin? George Washington, I believe, was out fighting. Sam Adams and Thomas Jefferson. Okay, if you remember, Thomas Jefferson was born in Virginia. He was the main author of the Declaration of Independence, and he's also the youngest on the team. All right, next one. What am I? I am a form of political participation. People use their voices to express their disagreements. Ooh, disagreement. Sometimes people carry banners. That one's a big clue right there. Okay, it was used against the Stamp Act and other British laws. So as a protest, maybe. Run for office, probably not. Write a letter, don't carry a banner there. You don't carry a banner to go vote. So protest. They go out there with their signs and they say, we don't like this. All right. Let's go ahead. What am I? I was born in Massachusetts and grew up in Boston. So a person, I protested British taxes. I was a successful merchant. So this person had a business. Okay. This one's tougher. Okay. I just remember this from somewhere in the reading that this person was a successful merchant. Okay. He was also the first one, or one of the first ones, to sign the Declaration of Independence. Very, very big. And that would be John Hancock. That one's tough. It's very specific. All right. Okay. You know what? This one is going back to our first question, so we're just repeating. I'll come back with the next lesson. All right, lesson 6, the war continues. So now we're going to be looking at battles and people who played a part in the war. So major battles, Continental Army saw victories, like at the Battle of Saratoga. Okay, so they saw a victory. There were also very dark moments for the Army, like the harsh winter at Valley Forge. Yikes, cold. And then you also have women that are playing an important part in the war. You can see this woman right here serving some water to this person, and that's a pitcher, okay, water pitcher. And then we also have allies, friends from other countries that came to help the American troops, okay, which had a positive impact on the war. Lots and lots of objectives there. Let's take a look at our review. So in which battle did the Continental Army gain momentum over the British troops? Okay, we just talked about that one. So when you're gaining momentum, you're starting to win. Okay, that was the Battle of Saratoga. I mentioned it right at the top of there. Okay. Which French nobleman was eager to help the Continental Army and became a key figure in helping the Patriots win the war? Okay, we definitely know it was not King Louis. Okay, George Washington is not a French nobleman. So it's Bernardo de Galvez. That sounds Spanish to me. Or Marquis de Lafayette. I believe it's him. So I narrowed it down to 2, and I took the French name. Hey, it worked. Okay. Where did the Continental troops under George Washington spend the winter of 1777 to 78? That one's easy. Valley Forge. Very, very harsh winter there. Lots of people died or frostbite. What important role did did Frederick Wilhelm von Steuben play in the American Revolution? Did he capture British troops? Did he fight at Bunker Hill? Did he captain a warship from France? Or did he train the Continental Army? Okay, so this guy was very, very knowledgeable, about battles and training. So he trained the Continental Army. Okay, wonderful work. Okay. Now, what name was given to women who fought in the war? Okay, so you notice that in that first photo drawing, okay, it wasn't a photo, more of a drawing. Okay, there was a woman and she had a pitcher of water. Okay, so those women were symbolically called Molly Pitcher. That's where the name comes from. Okay, stopping there. Next lesson coming up. All right, lesson 7, the war ends. So now we're talking about the political, military, and economic factors that influenced the Revolutionary War and how it ended. Okay, so now we've got the United States found allies, friends in France, Spain, and the Netherlands. Now I know that France actually helped fight, okay, especially with their warships. Spain provided things, and the Netherlands, they more provided like money, I think in the form of loans. So now we got the Continental Army, experienced, intelligent leaders who outsmarted the British. Okay, we've got some strategy going on there. Now, they both spent lots of money on the war. And then we got the Siege of Yorktown was the final battle that signaled to Britain, hey, it's time to give up, guys. Okay, we got you. Okay, let's take a look at our activity. In 1775, Blank started secretly sending supplies to the Continental Army to support their efforts against the British troops. So it's a country. China, no way. Italy, no way. France or Spain. Okay, I believe the French started doing it early on. Okay, and they were our main ally. That is correct. All right. After the defeat of Saratoga, after the defeat at the Siege of Charleston, General Blank was put in charge of the Continental Army in the South. So who was put in charge? Now I know it's a color. Okay, these ones just sound kind of silly. Okay, it was General Greene. Okay. Can you imagine General Rouge? The Blank providing Congress with loans to help fund the war. Okay, I talked about it at the beginning. Okay, the Netherlands. Okay, they were very big bankers. They loaned money. Okay, Washington developed a plan to surround the British troops at blank. Okay, I think I have this one. Okay, I think he did it at Yorktown. Let's see. Okay, so Yorktown, remember, is the French came in with their ships, okay, and then they also put troops to kind of pin them back there. Okay, he outsmarted them. The peace agreement between Great Britain and the United States was called the Treaty of, okay, they met in Paris, France. Okay, the Treaty of Paris. All right. And I'll be back with the next one. All right, everybody, final one, lesson 8, the effects of the war. So we've got difficulties after the war, okay, and huge debts, and women and African American slaves after the war, okay, had lots of changes. Let's take a look at our activity here. Before the Revolutionary War, what could a white married woman not purchase? Okay, let's look at these. Books, land, ribbons, or cloth. Okay, I know they could purchase both of those. Not so sure on books, but land, definitely not. They couldn't purchase land. Land was power. Okay. Before the Revolutionary War, next one I gotta go to. What did the British promise to give slaves after the war if they ran away from their patriot masters and joined the British troops? Okay, if you're a slave, what do you want the most out of these? Food, a blanket, freedom, or shoes? Obviously, they wanted their freedom. Okay, some did, some didn't do that. Okay, what requirement was dropped after the war for white men to be able to vote? So what did I just say was power, everybody? Property ownership. So this showed that you were rich, okay, and then after the war, this was dropped. Okay, so any white man could vote. Not fair, but was getting better. Okay, what church's members were pacifists? So they didn't believe in violence or killing. Roman Catholic, Church of English, Jewish, or Quakers? Okay. I believe it's the Quakers, okay, and they still are pacifists today. Okay. Which group had thousands of supporters moving to Canada and Britain during the war and after the war? So who would want to get out of the United States or out of the colonies? It wasn't the United States yet. Out of the colonies. Patriots, they formed the colonies. Loyalists wanted to stay with England. So now they're losing. So they probably wanted to get out. Sons of Liberty? No. Native Americans? Probably not. Loyalists? They're losing. They want to get out of there. Okay, and that's it, everybody. What I would suggest is that you go back over these reviews on your own and then go ahead and take the assessment. And I think you'll do well. All right, everybody, take care. Raise that screen.